Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. BJP Legislature Party to meet in Lucknow to elect its leader this afternoon. Polling for urban local bodies is progressing smoothly in Odisha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciates government e-marketplace for achieving order value of 1 lakh crore rupees in a single year. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Gujarat Legislative Assembly in Gandhinagar, says role of people's representative is most important in a democracy. More than 182 crore 23 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Wings India 2022 begins at Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. World Tuberculosis Day is being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind calls upon everyone to work together to achieve a tuberculosis-free India by 2025. Government sets a target to open 1,000 Khelo India centres to promote sporting culture across the country, says MOS for Sports and Youth Affairs Nishit Pramanik in Rajya Sabha. And PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Shrikant cruise to second round of Swiss Open Badminton. Sindhu to take on Neslihan Yiğit of Turkey in next round today. As we start the bulletin, we appeal to our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The Uttar Pradesh BJP Legislature Party will meet today in Lucknow to elect its leader. Union Home Minister Amit Shah and former Jharkhand Chief Minister Raghubar Das have been appointed as observers for the meeting. Union Minister and Uttar Pradesh BJP in charge, Dharmendra Pradhan, will also be present at the meeting. Later in the evening, a BJP delegation led by the Legislature Party leader will call on Governor Anandiben Patel and stake claim to form a new government in the state. As per the statutory provision, the Governor will invite the leader of the BJP Legislature Party to form the government and announce the time of the swearing-in ceremony. The swearing-in of the Chief Minister will be held in Ikana Stadium on Shaheed Path in Lucknow tomorrow. The grand swearing-in ceremony is expected to be attended by a galaxy of senior BJP leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and BJP National President JP Nadda, besides other central ministers. In Odisha, polling for the urban local bodies is in progress. A total of 6,400 odd candidates are contesting for various seats in 3 municipal corporations, 47 municipalities and 59 notified area councils. Out of the total candidates, while more than 500 are vying for the post of chairperson and mayor, around 5,800 aspirants are aiming for the posts of corporator and councillor. Over 40 lakh voters are likely to cast their votes through more than 4,000 polling booths between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. Over 190 platoons of police force have been deployed across the state to ensure smooth conduct of the polls. Poll results will be declared on the 26th of this month.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed happiness that Government e-marketplace or GEM has achieved order value of 1 lakh crore rupees in a single year. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "This is a significant increase from previous years." He said the GEM platform is especially empowering micro, small and medium enterprises, with 57% of order value coming from the MSME sector. GEM has provided the government procurement agencies an option to select MSME vendors for procurement, which has helped MSMEs to significantly increase their sales. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that the process of creating city gas distribution (CGD) networks is being carried out all over the country. Replying to questions in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Puri said that the government has already covered more than 90% of geographical area. He said that the prices of LNG increased only 5% compared to other countries, where the increase was more than 37%. The minister informed the House that the government has set a target of increasing the share of natural gas in the primary energy mix from 6.7% to 15% by 2030.
उस समय भारत का केवल 3% एरिया और 9.6% जनसंख्या कवर होती थी। उस समय जीएस थे 31, जो पीएनआरजी भी जो रेगुलेटर है उसके स्थापना से पहले के हैं। अब तक नवंबर 2018 तक 10 राउंड बिडिंग की हो चुकी है और अभी 11th राउंड एंड 11A राउंड आर अंडर प्रोग्रेस एंड आर बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड। दिस फिगर हैज नाउ गॉन अप टू 82% of our land area, geographical area, and 98% of our population.
Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said his ministry's budget has been enhanced from 3,130 crore rupees in 2013-14 to 5,020 crore rupees in 2022-23. Mr. Naqvi said the budget allocation for education of minority communities, which was 1,888 crore rupees in 2013-14, has been increased to 2,515 crore rupees in 2022-23.
आज की तारीख में 5 करोड़ 20 लाख से ज्यादा लाभार्थी 7 साल में हो गए। उसके अलावा एजुकेशन में बजट जो है वो 2013 में 14 में 1888 था और आज की तारीख में 2515 करोड़ बढ़ा है। इसलिए हमारी कोशिश है कि समाज के सभी हिस्सों के साथ साथ जो माइनॉरिटी है वो भी डेवलपमेंट के बराबर के हिस्सेदार भागीदार बने। इसीलिए हमारा जो मोदी जी की सरकार का इंजीनियरिंग है, पीडब्ल्यूडी इंजीनियरिंग, यानी पुअर, डाउन एंड वीमेन, और इस पीडब्ल्यूडी इंजीनियरिंग का लाभ हो रहा है कि आज समाज के सभी वर्ग बराबर से तरक्की के हिस्सेदार भागीदार बन रहे हैं।
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal today said India ranks third among the global ecosystems. Replying to the demands for grants of Commerce and Industry Ministry, Mr. Goyal informed the House that there are more than 65,000 startups registered with the ministry and lakhs who are yet to register. The minister appealed all the states and UTs to make use of the GEM portal for all purchases, which could reduce the financial burden. The government has set a target to open 1,000 Khelo India centres to promote sporting culture across the country. Replying to supplementaries in the Rajya Sabha today, Minister of State for Sports and Youth Affairs Nishit Pramanik said the government is working to complete the target by 2024. He said over 2,000 crore rupees worth of projects has been initiated to build the sports infrastructure in the country. Appreciating the Target Olympic Podium scheme, the minister said assistance related to coaches, health facilities and sports equipment have been provided to the sportsperson to better equip them for the international sporting events under this scheme.
Amidst the Ukraine crisis, India today asserted that its foreign policies are guided by its own thinking, views and interests. New Delhi once again called for immediate cessation of violence, adding that there is no other way than to return to dialogue and diplomacy to resolve the crisis. This was stated by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar while replying to supplementaries in Rajya Sabha during the question hour today. The minister said New Delhi is in touch with the leadership of Ukraine and Russia, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken to the presidents of both the countries. More than 26 crore unorganized workers have been registered on the e-Shram portal, out of which 53% are female workers and 47% are male workers. This was stated by the Labour and Employment Minister Bhupender Yadav in a written reply in Rajya Sabha today. He said the registration on the e-Shram portal is completely free of cost and workers can easily get themselves registered on the portal through self-registration, common service centres and state e-Seva Kendra.
The government today said the setting up of a media commission in the country is not considered necessary at present to look into the various aspects of regulations. This was stated by Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today. He was asked about the recommendation of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Communications and Information Technology in this regard. He said the government regularly holds consultations with stakeholders and utilizes data and information available from various sources for policy formulation and building strategies. Prasar Bharati has shut down over 1,200 Doordarshan analog terrestrial transmitters in view of the emerging trends in the broadcasting sector and availability of DD free dish in the country. This was stated by Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today. He said the analog terrestrial TV transmitters of Doordarshan carrying only one channel have lost their relevance and have become obsolete.
President Ramnath Kovind addressed the Gujarat Assembly and praised the contribution of people of the state and its leaders towards the country's development. It was the first address to the State Assembly by any president, and the event was part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to celebrate 75 years of India's independence.
कि लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर में आयोजित ये समारोह आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के साथ साथ मनाया जा रहा है। यह हम सबका कर्तव्य है कि स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों को याद करते हुए देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए सार्थक कदम उठाए जाएं, ताकि सन 2047 में जब हमारे देशवासी स्वतंत्रता की शताब्दी मना रहे होंगे, तब उस समय की पीढ़ी को अपने देश पर गर्व का अनुभव हो।
President Kovind said that the people of Gujarat remained at the forefront of India's freedom struggle. He said that Mahatma Gandhi had not only given us freedom from the British rule, but also showed a new way of life, that is, non-violence, to the world. He also said that the role of people's representatives is most important in a democracy. The prestigious Wings India 2022 has taken off at Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. The Union Civil Aviation Ministry and FICCI are jointly organizing the biennial event with India at 75 New Horizon for Aviation Industry as the main theme. Business to business and business to government deliberations are underway among various stakeholders as the conference cum exhibition is providing a platform for the same.
More than 182 crore 23 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Health Ministry said more than 31 lakh doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, a total of 1,938 new cases were reported in the country. World Tuberculosis Day is being observed today. The day aims to raise awareness about the devastating health, social and economic consequences of tuberculosis or TB and to step up efforts to end the global epidemic. The day is observed to commemorate the anniversary of Dr. Robert Koch's discovery of the TB bacteria in 1882. President Ramnath Kovind has called upon everyone to work together to achieve a tuberculosis-free India by 2025. In his message on World Tuberculosis Day, President Kovind congratulated all the TB champions who have battled the disease and are showing the way for others.
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that collective efforts of the people will play a key role in eliminating TB much before the Sustainable Development Goal of 2030. Mr. Mandavia said this while inaugurating the Step Up to End TB World TB Day Summit at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi today. He said TB eradication program of the government is going on at a fast pace and the central government is committed for TB elimination by 2025. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, while addressing the event, announced the launch of Dare to Erase TB program, which will be based on Indian data and formation of a genome sequencing consortium for whole genome sequencing TB surveillance.
Even in India today, we have 2 to 3 million cases of tuberculosis happening every year. It is a matter of concern. The announcement on behalf of the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Biotechnology, that we are from today, considering the solemnity of this World Tuberculosis Day, launching what we have as an acronym described as Dare to Erad TB, which in other words means data-driven research to eradicate tuberculosis.
In Kerala, private bus operators today began an indefinite strike demanding hike in fares. Owners of close to 7,000 buses said they have resorted to agitational path in protest against the delay in implementation of the fare hike assured by the government. Transport Minister Antony Raju appealed to the bus operators to call off the strike as school examinations are round the corner. The State Road Transport Corporation has decided to ply more buses to face the situation.
In Bihar, Vikassheel Insan Party VIP Chief Mukesh Sahni, who holds animal husbandry and fishery portfolio in Nitish Kumar-led government, said he will not resign from the post of minister despite joining of all 3 MLAs of his party to the BJP. Meanwhile, Mr. Sahni said continuance as minister in Nitish government depends on the discretion of the Chief Minister. Earlier, all 3 MLAs of Mukesh Sahni-led Vikashsheel Insan Party joined the BJP. With the defection of 3 VIP MLAs, BJP's tally in the 243-member Bihar Assembly has increased to 77, making it the single largest party in the House, overtaking RJD, which has 75 members. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan today said that he will be meeting Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal for export of Sharbati wheat from the state. Speaking to media outside the Parliament House, Mr. Goyal said exporters and chairman of Railway Board will also participate in the meeting. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan also called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the Parliament House.
The government has issued instructions laying down the procedure and timeline for change of option by the pensioners or family pensioners for availing OPD facility under the CGHS or Fixed Medical Allowance FMA. As per these instructions, if a pensioner or family of pensioner in receipt of FMA intends to avail the OPD facility under CGHS, he or she may apply to the concerned pension disbursing bank for discontinuation of FMA. The pension disbursing bank shall discontinue the payment of FMA and issue a certificate to this effect within 3 working days from the date of receipt of application. Thereafter, the pensioner can apply to the concerned CGHS authorities for issue of CGHS card after paying requisite CGHS contributions if not already paid. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. BJP Legislature Party to meet in Lucknow to elect its leader this afternoon. Polling for urban local bodies is progressing smoothly in Odisha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciates government e-marketplace for achieving order value of 1 lakh crore rupees in a single year. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Gujarat Legislative Assembly in Gandhinagar, says role of people's representatives is most important in a democracy. More than 182 crore 23 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Wings India 2022 begins at Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. World Tuberculosis Day is being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind calls upon everyone to work together to achieve a tuberculosis-free India by 2025. Government sets a target to open 1,000 Khelo India centres to promote sporting culture across the country, says MOS for Sports and Youth Affairs Nishit Pramanik in Rajya Sabha. And PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Shrikant cruised to second round of Swiss Open Badminton. Sindhu to take on Neslihan Gigit of Turkey in next round today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. on the 27th of this month. It will be the 87th episode of the monthly radio program. People can share their ideas and suggestions on MyGov, the Namo app, or dial 1800-117800 and record their message for it. The phone lines will remain open till tomorrow. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 24th of March 1902, the revolutionary organization Anushilan Samiti was formed by freedom fighter Pramathnath Mitra in Bengal Presidency. It was headed by Barindra Kumar Ghosh, the younger brother of Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. A number of nationalists were associated with it at various times, notably Aurobindo Ghosh, Bhupendranath Datta, Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das, Surendranath Tagore, Pulin Bihari Das, Sarla Devi, Rash Bihari Bose, Bagha Jatin, Sachendranath Sanyal, Jatin Das, and Bipin Chandra Pal.
The genesis of the Samiti can be traced to the formation of youth clubs devoted to the threefold aims of physical, mental, and moral development of the youth. The Samiti propounded revolutionary violence for ending the British Raj in India. Its two arms, the Dhaka Anushilan Samiti, centered in Dhaka, and the Jugantar Group, centered at Calcutta, were formed and organized on the lines of the secret societies of Russia and Italy. The Samiti was inspired by the thoughts, speeches, and writings of Swami Vivekananda and influenced by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee's Anand Math.
From 1907, the members belonging to the Anushilan Samiti were very active in revolutionary activities. Aurobindo Ghosh and Bipin Chandra Pal began the Bengali nationalist weekly Jugantar, New Era, and its English counterpart, Bande Mataram, in March 1906, that openly preached armed rebellion to create the necessary revolutionary mentality among Indians. The Muzaffarpur killing is one of the most famous events in the history of the revolution in Bengal. Both Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chaki became heroes among the masses of Bengal. A bomb manufacturing factory was discovered in Maniktola Garden in Calcutta. Barindra Kumar Ghosh was brought to trial in the so-called Alipo conspiracy case. The Alipo trial led to a series of arrests and raids, culminating in the divisions in the Anushilan Samitis.
Alarmed by the revolutionary activities of the Samiti, the British took a series of measures to crush it. Their activities and that of the Ghadar party led to the passage of the Defence of India Act 1950. After World War I, the draconian Rowlatt Acts were passed to deal with them. The Dhaka Anushilan Samiti apparently broke up when Pulin Das was arrested and deported for life. Master Das Surya Sen conducted the last revolutionary act in East Bengal at the Chittagong Armory raid on the 18th of April 1930.
In the late 1930s, many members of Anushilan Samiti joined the Indian National Congress under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. The Jugantar branch formally dissolved in 1938. In independent India, the party in West Bengal evolved into the Revolutionary Socialist Party, while the eastern branch later evolved into the Shramik Krishak Samajwadi Dal in present-day Bangladesh.
We also remember Ghadarite revolutionary Gyani Pritam Singh, who actively used to promote patriotism amongst Indians in Thailand. In 1940, he was instrumental in the organization of the Independent League of India with the support of former colleagues in the Ghadar party.
Pritam Singh worked in coordination with a Japanese intelligence officer to counter British power. Pritam Singh was selected as a member of a goodwill mission to Tokyo for holding informal discussions on Indian independence. However, after taking off for Tokyo, Japan, on the 24th of March 1942, his airplane crashed and he was killed. We salute the great freedom fighter Gyani Pritam Singh.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
The Supreme Court today allowed the centre to probe fake ex gratia claims on the death of kin due to COVID-19. A bench of Justices M.R. Shah and B.V. Nagaratna said that the centre can verify 5% of claims in 4 states, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Kerala, which had a wide difference between the number of claims and recorded deaths. The BJP has termed the gruesome killings of 8 persons in Birbhum district of West Bengal as revenge killings. Briefing reporters in New Delhi, party spokesperson Sambit Patra said that the whole country is concerned about this incident as it has shaken humanity.
On to sports now. Ace Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, Kidambi Shrikant, Parupalli Kashyap and young Ashmita Chaliha sailed into the second round of the Swiss Open Badminton Tournament at St. Jacob Schall at Basel in Switzerland yesterday. PV Sindhu, a 2-time Olympic medalist, defeated Leen Kjærfeldt of Denmark in the opening round of women's singles. Second seed Sindhu will take on world number 30 Neslihan Yigit of Turkey in the next round today. The 15th edition of the Indian Premier League Tata IPL 2022 will begin on Saturday. There are 10 teams to compete for 4 playoff spots in this edition. BCCI added 2 new teams, Lucknow Super Giants and Gujarat Titans for this season of IPL. A total of 74 T20 matches are to be played. Defending champion Chennai Super Kings will take on Kolkata Knight Riders in the opening match on Saturday at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai.
US President Joe Biden, who is on a European visit, will meet and discuss with his European counterparts in Brussels and Warsaw on various issues such as imposing new sanctions on Russia and dealing with an extraordinary humanitarian crisis. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that Biden would coordinate with her allies on military assistance for Ukraine and new sanctions on Russia during meetings with NATO officials, Group of 7 leaders and European Union allies today. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 22 to 36 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 36 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between minimum 29 to maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 35 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 8 and 21 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. Leh is likely to have cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum and maximum temperature hovers between 2 and 13 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze. Hyderabad will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. BJP Legislature Party to meet in Lucknow to elect its leader this afternoon. Polling for urban local bodies is progressing smoothly in Odisha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciates government e-marketplace for achieving order value of 1 lakh crore rupees in a single year. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Gujarat Legislative Assembly in Gandhinagar, says role of people's representatives is most important in a democracy. More than 182 crore 23 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Wings India 2022 begins at Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. World Tuberculosis Day is being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind calls upon everyone to work together to achieve a tuberculosis-free India by 2025. Government sets a target to open 1,000 Khelo India centers to promote sporting culture across the country, says MOS for Sports and Youth Affairs Nishit Pramanik in Rajya Sabha. And PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Shrikant cruise to second round of Swiss Open Badminton. Sindhu to take on Neslihan Yigit of Turkey in next round today. And with that, we end the midday news.